Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to dive into this topic that is so fundamental to the fabric of our society: honesty. I want to ask you a question. Why do you think honesty is such an important factor in our lives? My name is Jennifer K.O. Stay right there because we're gonna dive right into that. I really wish to tell you a short story briefly, even though it's such a long story, but I want to make it really short before we get into this topic. So this happened when I was 19 years old in college. Happened that one of my lecturers, leading one of my most favorite subjects, happened to have sexual interest on me. This started way long after maybe he knew me, but he tried to keep it as casual as he could until in the middle of my second year. Mind you, I had huge respect for this person because I was handed to him by one of my in-laws. So he was supposed to, to take care of me, to look after me, to help me navigate through that college, because everything was completely new to me in that area. I was in a different region. So I simply had no idea or my whereabouts at all at that college. And he was the one that was trusted by my in-law that he could help me navigate through. So I had lots of trust to him. The same trust I had to my in-law, the same trust I gave him. And the same respect I had to my in-law, the same respect I gave him as well. In the middle of my second year, now I remember that lecturer wanting so bad to meet. Like he wanted us to catch up for dinner, for lunch, for coffee. However, I never gave chance to any of those. My reason was just one. It got to a point of where I could sense of what he wanted to speak to me. And because of the respect I had for him, I didn't want to give it a chance to even hear it. And also knowing that I wasn't ready for any romantic relationship at that period of time. Anyway, you know how we do, girls. You behave as if you're not understanding what's going on. Second year finished. Third year. So he started slowly trying to tighten me into subjects. Trying like to call me by myself in the office. Trying to be mean. Trying to find any way to just make me. But all those failed until the last point when I have completely finished my third year. I've sat for my last exam. He was the very first person to call me for the results. And to my surprise, he told me that I failed 2 of the subjects, but wanted to reassure me that everything was going to be okay, that he could help me if I needed any help, that in fact if I can't afford to pay to receipt for that exam, he could help me. I refused every type of offer that he gave. I rejected everything. He went ahead without telling me to pay for that exam. And when I sent someone to re-register me to receipt for that exam, one of my friends, he told me, Jennifer, you have been paid. Someone has paid for this exam. And I was like, who paid? Because I haven't paid. So for him to follow up, he found out that someone has paid for that exam. And now he told me that particular person, and I was completely embarrassed because you can imagine that picture shows that maybe, it wasn't time for me to explain myself to that person that I sent to pay. So I let that go. But I told him that I do not appreciate what he did. I did not ask of that. Like, I didn't even want to say thank you because we have already had this conversation. For me, it wasn't something to thank him. It was more something to now really warn him, like, don't do this because I do not want anything to do with you. So stop doing things that you may think that you can use to hold me. So I really had to be so clear there. And then he was like, how someone will start calling you names, like you think you are this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this to you, I'm gonna see where this will end you. Anyway, it was too much. It went a long way. So he made me fail because this made me believe that he was behind all those failures. The first time, second time. The second time, to my surprise, when the result came of the first one, the second time came with a different subject. When I followed it up, and then they mentioned to me that I never failed those subjects that appeared earlier. Rather, I failed those ones that appeared on the second time. As confusing as that was, I still had to go back and resit. Guys, mind you, I had only 3 chances to resit for this exam, or else it will be I have never gone to college. It was going to be a complete discontinue after those 3 chances. And not only 3 chances, you need to pay for those chances to resit for that exam. Anyway, so I did the first one, the second one, and being confused, someone saying that you never failed this one, it was a mistake, but you have already sat for that exam, you have already repaid, and coming something new. Anyway, now came that it was his own subject. Guys, I sat for his own subject until the 3rd time. Now the 3rd time, that was my last chance. I couldn't see light, I didn't know what to do, and all that long I have kept all that to myself. I've never spoken to a friend, I've never shared it to anybody. It was just only me and him that knew what was going on. And even he could call me. He would want, if I'm back in town, he would want to know all my whereabouts. Anyway, so because he started threatening me like, I will see where this will end. I will see if you think you know too much. I will see how this will go. So I started now thinking, what if this man is behind my failures? What if he's the one doing all this? That was the time that I decided to seek help. So luckily, I was having this good friend of mine. Now I shared everything that I've been going through with that teacher. And I opened to him that I was thinking that man was behind everything that was happening into my life. And it was like, how long has this been going on? I opened to him. The only question he asked me was, Jennifer, have you ever had any type of relationship or any type of promising agenda to this man? My answer was no, because truly I had never, even for a mistake, had any sort of conversation that was promising to this man. So he reassured me that he would be able to help me, but only if everything that I have said to him was true. And only if I have been really studying, like truly I wasn't failing just because I do not have enough knowledge into that subject, that he could help me. So I clarified to him that everything I said, everything I mentioned to him was correct. And now he assured me, say, Jennifer, just go ahead, go sit for exam. If this is true what you're saying, you are going to pass this exam. So he gave me go ahead. He said, just go, I will take care of everything. Completely, I had no idea all time. And I don't even know until tomorrow. I don't know what my friend did. I don't know if it was him directly. I don't know if I just don't know what happened. But guys, it went much farther, more than I could ever imagine. Higher authorities were really involved into investigation of that matter. Not only my own matter, but the whole college. At the end of the day, it happened that man was really behind my struggles. And one thing that saved me was only the honest I have had from the very first beginning of the chat that I chatted with that man to the last conversation or phone call that I had with that man. Because everything went through investigation. Because they needed to check both sides. Maybe what if I have taken his money, or maybe this man has been taking care of me at that college, and then now at the end of the day, I don't want to pay back in a way that he wanted. So they didn't want to go through that. Why am I sharing this story with you guys? It's just to show you that honest, that sometimes or most of the time we undermine this factor, but it is such an important factor into our life. It's something that might not save you today, but one day, because truth always comes out, no matter what. Time cannot take that away. Chances cannot take that away. It usually finds its own way to show up. Now let's get back to today's topic. For a good reason, honesty is usually referred as the best policy. It forms the cornerstone of trust, integrity, and meaningful relationships. When we choose honesty, We pave the way for genuine connections and authentic interactions. On the other hand, in our personal lives, honesty builds trust among family members, friends, colleagues, and even romantic partners. It allows us to be vulnerable, to share our thoughts and feelings openly, knowing that we are being true to ourselves and others. But honesty extends beyond personal relationships. It is also crucial in the professional sphere and spirituality sphere. In the workplace, honesty fosters accountability and transparency. It lays the groundwork for a positive organizational culture where colleagues can rely on one another and work together towards common goals. Furthermore, honesty is integral to personal growth and development. When we are honest with ourselves, we can identify our strengths and weaknesses, set realistic goals, and chart a course for personal growth. Denying or sugarcoating the truth can only hinder our progress of maturity, of success, and definitely keeping us from reaching our most fullest potential in life. Moreover, living honestly aligns us with our values and principles that we have set for ourselves. It allows us to stand firm in our convictions, even when faced with adversity or temptations. By staying true to our moral compass, we maintain our integrity and earn respect not only for ourselves, but those surrounding us as well. Now, I really want us to address this common misconception about honesty. That honesty always means blurting out every thought or feeling without regard for others' feelings. That's not what honesty is or it should be. Honesty doesn't mean to be hurtful. It doesn't mean to be brutal or insensitive. It's only about finding the right balance between being truthful and compassionate. Sometimes it means choosing our words carefully, knowing when to speak and when to listen. Honesty is simply not just about telling the truth, but also about living authentically with integrity and sincerity. So I encourage all of us today to embrace honesty in all aspects of our lives. Let's build trust, foster genuine connections, and strive for both personal growth and collective growth. Because when we choose honesty, we not only enrich our own lives, but also contribute to a world built on trust, integrity, and mutual respect. I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. If you have done, don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up, and definitely share with your friends. Until next time, stay honest and stay true to yourself.